y'all, Pam here with BeeCreative Crafts, and welcome back. So y'all, we are on episode 107 of Off the Hook. So welcome in, and how is everybody doing? I see we've had a spring raid, so thank you so much, Miss Spring. And there's Miss Zoila and Chris K. Hello, hello. Hello, Miss Melanie J. and Darcia. So how is everyone doing tonight? Hey, Miss Lisa. Jen Reeves. Hello, Mommy. So how's everybody doing? So y'all, let me show y'all something. If y'all use StreamYard, let me show you something cool that they have done. Let me figure out, where was it? It was in this one. And it changed the color of my name, so I got to fix that. Because I had it fixed back to orange, but as soon as I started playing around with the features, it defaulted it back to blue. But, so, now when I logged in, it said this was available on all accounts. I'm assuming that's also on the free account, so y'all will have to check it out and let me know. But look, so you can be rectangle, or you can put yourself in a circle. And then you can change the colors to whatever color you want it to be. So we'll change it to orange. But how cool is that? So we're going to go back to this one here for now. And yes, it changed it back to blue. I'll have to figure out how to save it so that it goes back to my orange, but I'll deal with that later. I just wanted to show y'all that you can change the different layouts. You can also do it if you have panel, so you can all be in little circles instead of little squares. So, hey, Crafty Annie, welcome in. And Karen, let me scrolly. Who else have I met? Hey, Bojan. Let's see. Hey, Rudy. Who else have I met? And there's Miss Spring. Hey, girl, thanks for the raid. And Miss Crystal, hello, hello. Hi, Kimberly. Rudy said episode 107 in a couple of weeks. Repack 109. Hey, Bonnie and Miss VJ. Hello, hello. Bonnie, how am I doing? Any news on you? Yes, surgery is on October 30th. I do have a vlog post on that, so it will be coming out this weekend. I filmed it yesterday, but I want to go in and take one part out where I was talking about insurance, because I know insurance differs from state to state and based on what plan you have. So I'm just going to take that out because I don't want to give out any misinformation. So Jen says, spring raid. Forgot to say that. Oops. That's okay. Thank you, Bonnie. All right, y'all. So if y'all could tell, if y'all could see in the description or in the title, we're going to go ahead and do the Star Stitch tonight too, because there's a really good chance that I won't be live next week because I probably will still be in the hospital. There's a 99% chance that I will still be in the hospital because she said I would be in there for 2 to 3 days. So we're going to say that next week is definitely not going to be, I'm not going to be doing a live. The following week is up in the air. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. Hey, Nancy. She says, building a bookcase. Sweet. So we're going to, let's see, what's Miss Kimberly is going to be in the bushes working, listening on TV. Okie dokie. Hey, Bridget. Miss Angel. So yes, so we're going to get started on that. First, we're going to go ahead and do the lemon peel stitch. And then we're going to go right into the Star Stitch so that y'all can get a jump on it. I did finish my blanket section for October. I haven't done the Star Stitch section yet, but there it is. There's my lemon peel stitch all done. So I'm going to flip the camera. We'll get started on the lemon peel, and then we'll jump right into the Star Stitch. For those that are following along with the blanket, for November, take your stitch count back to an even multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mine back down to 198 because currently mine is 199. If you did your lemon peel section at 198, if you just kept it at the even number, then you're good to go. Bonnie said we're missing some thummies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let me flip my camera here. Hey, Tammy, welcome in. And we will get started on the lemon peel stitch. Change this here. Remember to look up before I hit the button. That way, when it pauses me, at least I'm smiling. Oh, where is my remote? There it is. Alrighty, we're going to zoom down. That should be good. And then turn off autofocus. I turn off the autofocus because it tends to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, so for the lemon peel section, I'm going to be using my J hook. Now, when I do the blanket for the star stitch section, I am going to go up to a K because it does tend to draw in on itself. So let's do, you know what? Let's just keep it simple as far as stitch count goes. And let's go ahead and do a chain of 11. Then I'm going to work a single crochet in each stitch all the way across so that my working stitch count is going to be a 10. So that way it's going to be an even number. Welcome back, Miss Darcia. Bonnie says, last week when I showed the washcloths, she made 8 of them in the 2 days after to give to her clients. I love your stitch for that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's a great stitch for washcloths. I love it. That is my go-to also for my washcloths. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to stay in. Okay, let me turn focus back on for a second. There we go. Miss Nancy's going to be listening. She's about to go to under the desk to attach her keyboard. She said she will rewatch to learn the star stitch. That's okay. It's going to be a minute because we're going to do lemon peel first. Alrighty. Darcy is saying hello to everybody. All right, so then we're going to chain 1 and turn. And since this is an even number, the lemon peel is going to be a 1-row repeat. So in the first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to work a double. And then we're going to repeat that all the way across. Working a single followed by a double. Hey, Doretha, welcome in. Tracy says, what is the multiple? And hello, Miss Tracy. So we are doing an even multiple. So you can do your stitch count however long you want it to be, so long as your working stitch count is an even number. So I did a chain of 11, and then I did a single crochet all the way across. So I've got a working stitch count right now of 10. And then you'll end with a double. And y'all, am I zoomed in too close? Do I need to zoom back out a little? Let me know. Or if this is good. And I'm trying to stay centered in the camera. You know what? Hold on. Let me bring my camera forward just a little bit. Whoa. That way I'm not leaning so far across my desk. There we go. Okay, and then like I said, since we're doing this in an even multiple, our lemon peel is a 1-row repeat. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. Bonnie said she put the half double like I was doing last week on mine. Yes, and I love that for dishcloths. Is working a half double to begin and end. I also use it on a lot of my blankets. So in this first stitch, you're going to work a single crochet. And then in the next stitch, you're going to work a double crochet. And what you are doing is you are working the opposite stitch than the row below. So this one here and the row below is a double crochet. So on top of this one, you're going to work a single crochet. Then this next one here is a single crochet. So on top of the single, we're going to work a double. And then you're going to repeat that all the way across. So this can be worked in an odd multiple. If you work it in an odd number, it is a 2-row repeat. All you need to remember is that you are working the opposite stitch on top of the stitch below. So here we are again at a double crochet. So we're going to work a single on top of that, and then a double, single, and then you'll end with a double crochet. See, Miss Karen is doing a C to C with the half double. Nice. Chain 1 and turn. And then you just continue working that. So you can single, double for as long as you want your project to be. Does anybody have any questions on the lemon peel stitch? I know I went through that super quick, but I can frog this back and start over. Just let me know if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer them for you if I can. And if I can't, maybe somebody in chat can. And does anybody need me to show how you can start and end each row with a half double, like Bonnie was talking about? And the good thing about the lemon peel is you get this nice texture. Forgot, let me turn the autofocus back on. You get that nice texture, and what's creating that texture is those single crochets. Come on, focus in. There we go. Those single crochets are pulling that double crochet down just a little bit, so which is causing them to pop out ever so slightly, which is giving you just a little bit of texture, which is super great, like I said, for washcloths. Did I keep those in here, or did I take them back to the other room? I kind of think I took them back in the other room. Or did I shove them in a drawer? There's no telling. Aha, I threw them in a drawer. So here's one that I did. Let me zoom back just a little bit. Doot, doot. So I started my, let's see, this one, yeah, half double. I started with a half double, a row of half doubles. And this one I worked in an odd multiple. So I started and ended both of the same. So I started with a half double, then I did a single, and then I alternated all the way across, and then I ended with a single and a half double. Then I chained 1 and I started with a half double. And then I went to a double crochet, single, double, single, and I ended with a double and then a half double. Did I totally lose y'all on that? But I like the way it works up for washcloths. I really do. Or hand towels. You can also make a towel with it. But what? My box. I have a box blocking my drawer. There we go. This is a little sample swatch. This is a little one we made last week. And that yarn that I was using, really, I said it wasn't a self-striping yarn, but it's pretty self-striping. So it looks really good no matter what stitch you're using. I mean, what yarn you're using. That lemon peel stitch looks good with it. This right here, the color of this one is called Brights. And this is I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. Bonnie said, yes, hers turned out nice. I really like it a lot for washcloths. And this one, I'm thinking I'm going to continue it on because I have some more of these. And I'm going to turn this, I think, into a skinny scarf. Hey, Mandy, welcome in. Jen said, that's the stitch they're using to make the Rita sweater with IVB Creates. Cool. Yes, it's good for clothing as well. I used this in the shirt I made when Crystal Bag O'Day had her her challenge last year. I used it in my shirt I made as well. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's just keep going. We'll do a couple more rows of this. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, drop them in there. Let's see. Bonnie says she used almost all 4 with her I Love This Cotton. That looks like mine, but not the same. Oh, right. I remember. Yours was called Easter Nova, if I'm remembering correctly. Melanie J says, hello, everyone. Knitting and listening. Well, thank you very much. And y'all, let me go over here. I don't think I've played this in a bit. I know, well, I played it. Well, where are you? Oh, there you go. Since I was playing around with that other thing, now it's taking away my little clippies. There we go. This is for everybody that is lurking and listening. But what I'm saying is I know I played this on the Crafty Ladies, but I haven't played it on my Thursday night in a while. So this is for all of y'all. And Bonnie says the Easter Nova is not as bright, but still nice. I like the rainbowy type colors. And it's long enough that it was given, or the color change was long enough to give that nice self-striping effect, which I wasn't sure that it would do. So for those that are just coming in, we are working on the lemon peel stitch, which can be an easy 1-row repeat or a 2-row repeat, depending upon your stitch count. If you start out with an even number, it is a 1-row repeat. And you alternate between single crochet and double crochet all the way across. So you'll start with a single and end with a double crochet if your stitch count is even. Then you will chain 1, turn, and repeat, starting with a single crochet. If your stitch count is an odd multiple, then every other row, say your even rows will start with a single crochet and end with a single crochet, and your odd rows will start with a double crochet and end with a double crochet. Darcy says, I just love those eyeballs. I know, isn't that the cutest thing? Nancy took the little emojis that Adele usually drops when she's hiding in the bushes, and hey Adele, if you're listening, and she created that little video. Super cute. But for the lemon peel, you just work the opposite stitch, and lemon peel is also known as the griddle stitch. But you're working the opposite stitch from the row below. So here I am at a single crochet, so I know my next stitch is going to be a double crochet. So if you need to put this project down, go fix something to eat, go grab you a drink, and you're in the middle of a row, when you come back, just look at the stitch below. So here I'm at a double crochet, so I know that it's going to be a single crochet next. Miss Diane says she has a question. Can you make a blanket using the lemon peel stitch? Absolutely. You absolutely can. I use this stitch a lot for baby blankets. Bonnie says, I put everything away and I can't remember what size hook I use. What did you use? What did I use? I mean, like, it just like, you can put your, you can get like a stitch. Well, you don't use the number, or you use the numbers and not the letters, correct? You can make you some stitch markers that has like 5.5 or 6.5 or whatever your hook is you're using, and use that stitch marker to let you know what size hook you're using if you pick it back up later. Chris K. Is it still called lemon peel if you use any other stitches? Like if you wanted to do single crochet, half double? That's a good question, Chris. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be like a variation. I have done single and a half double, but I don't know if it's still called lemon peel. Let's see. Darcia says, even numbers, you begin with a double crochet and end with a double crochet. Even numbers, you begin with a single and you end with a double. Odd, you start and end with the same. So if your stitch count is odd, so say I did 11, then I would start with a single and then end with a single. And then when I turn, I would start with a double and then end with a double. Karen says she uses the number beads from Dollar Tree sometimes. Yes, that's a good idea. I've got some of those. Bonnie says that's a good idea. She says, no, I finished and put all my stuff away, but I want to do them again for me. Oh, I've got you. I see what you're saying. I usually, for my washcloths, I usually use a K. I usually use a 6.5 just so they have a little bit, so that they don't, I don't want them like this. I don't want them to be stiff. I want them to be flowy, which this is a small sample, but I want them to be nice and flowy. But generally, I use a 6.5 for all of my dishcloths. Darcia says, oh, when you turn. Yes. And because I do mine in an odd multiple, let me grab another thing of yarn. Trying to find some that's laying right here. This will work. Maybe. Where's my scissors? I'm just going to snip you right there. This is a, I don't know what color. I know it's I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. But I couldn't tell you what color it is. Just trying to find my end. What have I done? Oh, gracious. Here we go. Okay. If you're doing it in an even multiple, the starting and ending with the half double is not as, I don't do it as much if I do it on even. If I'm doing an odd number, I almost always start and end with the half double. And the reason for that is, you know what, let's just go ahead. Chain 2, go ahead and do a half double in each one. The reason I do that is because I can do a chain 1 and to start and end, so I don't have that extra, the extra height that's needed for the double crochet to get started. So I don't have to do any kind of special stitch, or I don't have that extra bump on the side from doing the double crochets. And if I counted right, this should be 9. Look at it curling up like a little snail or a little roly-poly bug. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, okay. So I've got an odd multiple here. So I've got 9. So I'm going to chain 1 turn. So I'm going to start in this first stitch here with a half double, because I can do a chain 1 and still keep that side fairly straight. Then I just go straight into my single, double, repeating all the way across until I get to the last stitch. Now you don't have to start and end with the half double. You can jump straight into the stitch. But here I've got 2 stitches left, so I'm going to end with a single. And then in that last stitch, I'm going to work a half double. Chain 1, turn, start in that first stitch there with a half double. And now here we are at the single crochet, so I'm going to work a double, and then a single. And repeat that all the way across. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to end with a double crochet followed by a half double. Hey, Sanja, she said, sorry I'm late again. I've enjoyed the laughter my hubby and I've had this evening. Hope everyone is doing good. Well, that's great. I'm glad y'all are having a great night. And Miss Karen says they are at, wow, 1,110 blankets for Boggy Creek. That is amazing. So here we are at the end. So I've just done my single. So now I'm going to do a double crochet and then a half double. And all that does is it keeps my rows even and it keeps my edges straight. Again, you can start, you don't have to do the half doubles at the start and the end. Sorry, I know that light is blowing out that lighter color, but you don't have to do the, let's go up closer. There we go. You can start and end. You don't have without the half doubles, but I just like it. Block off some of that light so you can see it. And it works up good with a variegated or a solid. Hey, Lana, she said, also sorry she's late. Just saw this. She's cooking dinner, but she'll be lurking in a blanket. Hello to everyone. You're not late. You're right on time. Diane says, I'm confusing her with all the different start numbers. That's okay, Diane. Do it in an even multiple, and it's a 1-row repeat. 1-row repeat. The main thing to remember is that you just work the opposite stitch from the row below. So right here, we've got a single crochet. So on top of this will be a double. On top of all the double crochets, work a single. Sandra said, that yarn is pretty. I know, and I'm not sure what color it is. It's, I got it from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And I probably have another skein of it somewhere. Let's see. It's just not in this drawer. This is my drawer of random skeins that look like this. Okay, Miss Diane. So what is your stitch count? And then I will go back and redo whatever multiple you are using. So I can unconfuse you, because I know I like totally confused a lot of people with that. And also by adding the half double at the beginning and end. That's just something a little extra that you can do, but you don't have to do. And just wait until we jump into the star stitch. And I think I'm going to go ahead and frog this out, or actually I think I'm just going to cut it and make it a little bit wider, because the star stitch is going to take up several stitches across. So how has everybody been this week? What y'all got going on? Alrighty. I think I'm going to double my stitches, double my stitch count. So I'm going to do a chain of 21. Hey, Charity. Okay, so Diane says she wants to make a blanket. Which one is the best to do? Are you going to put a border on it at the end? Or are you just going to... I like to do my blankets where I don't have to do a border at the end. Since you're just learning the stitch, I would probably just do an even number, an even multiple, and do it as a 1 row repeat, and then you're good to go. Me personally, I always do it in an odd, and then I'll do like a couple of rows of half double, and then I'll start and end each row with 2 half doubles. That way it kind of gives it its own border as I go. But since you are, oh, Darcia says ads, so you probably missed everything I just said. But since you're wanting to do a blanket, if this is the first time doing it and you just want to get the hang of the stitch, do it in an even multiple, and then it'll be a 1 row repeat. Let me check something real quick. I believe, let me start my video here. It's going to talk. There we go. Yes. Okay, so I have a baby blanket. I have a tutorial for a baby blanket using the lemon peel stitch, and I am pretty sure I did it using an odd multiple. But let me just double check that to confirm. Let's see. I'm scrolling through my video here. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. And I used a mandala ombre. Yes. Okay. So so you don't want to put a border on it. If you want to see how I do my blankets with the half, the baby blanket that I have linked in the description box below is using an odd multiple. So you can kind of go get a look at it and see. I wonder if, hold up. Yeah, I can. Let me go back here. Pause. How can I mute you? There we go. Let's see. Share screen. This way you can kind of see what it looks like without as a blanket. Okay, did it share? It did. Okay. And I've got it muted. So that is starting and ending with the half double crochet, and then starting the row using a half double, or starting the whole blanket. But see how nice and straight doing the half double on either end makes your edges, and the half double just kind of gives it kind of frames it out without having to do a border, which very well could be what I'm saying right there. I don't know because I muted myself, but and that yarn right there is the Lion Brand Mandala, which is awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite yarns to use. It's so pretty and it's so soft. It works up really great for a baby blanket, a adult blanket, whatever you want to use it for. I really like it. Stop screen share. Yes, Miss Diane, that video that I was just sharing there is linked in the description box below, but I can also, let's see, pause this right here, share, copy. Okay, so this is baby blanket using lemon peel. Paste. There you go. That right there is the lemon. That right there is the link for that tutorial. Let me scroll back up here. Whoa. Let's see. Chris K. Bonnie and I used 5.5 for her wash racks, so I know for projects. Gotcha. Alrighty. So let me move this out of the way. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go ahead. What did I say here? I'm going to chain 21. because I want my star stitch to really shine when we get to that section. So I'm going to go ahead and work a single crochet all the way across, and I'm doing this in an even multiple because the star stitch is done in an even. So we're just going to add the star stitch at the end of this little lemon peel section. Move these scissors back up here. So we're just going to do a few rows of lemon peel just so we can test it out here. Get a little bit longer. So what has the weather been like for y'all? Tennessee went cold. Well, started getting chilly down in the 30s. And then now it's warmed back up, but they're saying the temps are going to drop back down again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yay, 20. Okay, so chain 1, turn. And then I'm going to do a single and a double. Single, double. I'm going to do that all the way across. And Bonnie's saying thank you to Chris K. She's going to try the 6.5. She says she thinks she used a 6, but I want to see how this is going to come out. But she said that the one she made last year, she did use a 5.5. Like I said, I like to use the K, but I also crochet really tight when using most hooks. Now with the furls, this particular with the Odyssey, I don't know if it's because of the weight of it, but I tend to have a more industry standard tension when I'm using these, but I still like my K hook. I still like it, which is a 6.5 millimeter. And then you'll end with a double, chain 1 and turn, then single and double. And again, for those that are just coming in, when working the lemon peel stitch, you work the opposite stitch on top of the row below, opposite stitch from the stitch on the row below. So here we've come to a double crochet. I know this is my double because it's kind of pooched out there, because these single crochets pull that double crochet down, and that's what gives it the texture. So on top of this double crochet, you work a single, and then on top of the single crochets, which you can tell because it's not very big, you work a double crochet. And you just keep alternating between single and double all the way across. And if anybody would like to share out your channel link, Mr. Nightbot will drop your channel so your friends can go check it out. And the word for this week is still be happy, B-E-E, happy. So be happy now. And y'all can drop that, type that in, like I said, type it in the chat. Mr. Nightbot should drop your link. Please only drop it one time during the live, but that will give those in the chat that are watching and listening and chatting, if they are not familiar with you or your channel, they can go check it out. There we go. Chain 1 and turn. Then again, start with a single crochet and then double crochet. So the lemon peel can be very easy, because you can make it be a 1 row repeat by keeping your stitch count even. But even in odd, but it's still very easy if you do it with an odd as well. If you understand the concept of just working the opposite stitch from the row below. That's all you got to remember. When you get to a single, work a double. When you get to a double crochet, work a single. And that way it doesn't matter if your stitch count is odd or an even. Now, I'm going to really confuse everybody. If you are working in the round, like say you want to use this stitch for a beanie, which I have done, your stitch count will have to be even. Otherwise, you will have, if you have an odd number in the round, then you will have two stitches that are the same side by side. And you don't want that. Well, I mean, you might. But if I'm working it in the round, I do an even, and then I will chain one, and then I will turn. I will attach it, like I'll work it in the round, and I'll slip stitch to join, and then I will chain one and turn so that I'm still keeping with the same. Does that make sense? Again, I don't want to confuse anybody, and I really meant to have a project worked in the round with this, but October has gotten away from me. It's been a crazy month. It's been a whirlwind of a month, and I just simply haven't had the time to do it. So that might be a project for the new year, or maybe I can get to it in November and film up a little tutorial on how to work it in the round. If that is something y'all might like to see. So we're just repeating single, double, single, double. When I get to the end of this row, I am going to start in on the star stitch and show y'all how to do it. I have not published my star stitch tutorial. I did film it up last weekend. I still need to finish editing it and get it live on the channel. There are multiple ways to do the star stitch, and yeah, I'm going to show you all of them. All of them that I do. Typically, I like to finish off my star stitch with a half double. Sometimes people like to do it with a double. I mean, not a double, with a single. Okay. So there's lemon peel. Sandra said, let me go grab some yarn. Okay. So that is the lemon peel or the griddle stitch. Works up really nice. It gives you a nice texture. Okay. While we wait for Miss Sandra to grab her yarn, let me grab my little swatches here and show y'all. Okay. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all what yarn I'm using. So this is Red Heart Super Saver. And if anybody went to Ollie's when they had it, this is the infamous Bluebell. That is the yarn I've been using tonight. Okay, so these two swatches are using the same hook, the same yarn, same stitch count, the same amount of rows. This top swatch here, I finished off the star stitch using a single crochet. This bottom one, I finished off the star stitch with a half double. So it's your choice. I like to do the half double just because it makes it a little more symmetrical as far as the top and bottom being the same size, even though the bottom is still a little bit longer. Most of the tutorials I used to see, or the patterns, not necessarily tutorials, but did it with a single crochet. The first time I remember somebody saying that they prefer the half double was when I was making the Faith blanket. And she said, Bonnie says, no ollies, ugh. And she said she likes to use the half double. And she's the first person that I had heard that also liked to use the half double. So Sandra says, I love Bluebell. She made a hat out of it. Karen said she made a scarf using the Star Stitch with Red Heart Unforgettable, and it's so soft. Oh, I bet. Bonnie says, I love this stitch. I also like to do this stitch a little bit different. If y'all have been around my channel long enough to know, or if not, if you're new here, I like to kind of change things up just a little bit. Nancy says, I'm back. Trying to hold the screws upside down under my desk was hard. Yeah. Nancy says, I love half double crochet. I like to tweak the patterns to suit me. So I'm going to teach y'all the tweaks that I've done on my most patterns for Star Stitch have a big gap at the end of them, and I don't like the big gap. So I worked out 2 different ways to get rid of the gap. One, this one here, you end with a double crochet. And then, or like on this one here, I ended with half a star. So I will show y'all how I do both of those. I'm going to start with adding a star stitch to this little swatch here. And I'm going to do it like this one with the half double, because this is my preferred method. This is the way I prefer to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it, ending with the double crochet. And then after we do that, then I'll go back and do a smaller swatch and show you the different variations that you can do. And again, it's going to be a personal preference. So this one, obviously you end and there's no hole. But to me, it doesn't look symmetrical because here you've got the line, which is why I did it this way with ending with a double crochet. So you kind of got this, you've got where it starts here and then also where it ends over here. See, it kind of makes it a little, except here, you know, this little stitch here looks, I did it so that it would finish out this stitch here. Hey, Lisa Knits, she said she is lurking while she tries to finish her knitted scarf. Awesome. So, are y'all ready? Is Sandra back with her yarn? Oh, you know what? I tell you what. While we wait for Sandra to answer, let me turn my camera real quick. Oh, she's ready. Okay. Well, I'll still go ahead and do this right quick then. It's time for our Jeopardy question. And also, oh, where'd my little swatchy swatch go? The Star Stitch has a definite front and back. So here's your front. Here's your front side where you can see the star. And then you've got the back side where you can't see it as much. I mean, it's there, but it's not defined like on the other side. So that is the side where your Star Stitch shines. This also looks really good, and I've used the Star Stitch in hats. But look how pretty it is using this yarn here. This yarn is really pretty. Look at that little shiny, glimmery glim. This is the Picasso Rainbow. It's a number. I don't remember which one what the color was that I bought. Hey, Zach, welcome in. Oh, where did I do with that bag? It was just sitting here. I'll tell y'all the number of it. Oh, there it is. There you. Sorry for the crinkling. If you like it, that's the number. 64627, and I bought it from Ice Yarns. I know, sorry for the crinkling. It got super close to the microphone. I apologize. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was going to drop the Jeopardy question. Alrighty, so the category is still time to go green, and the answer to the question is: formed in 1952, the United States Army Special Forces is also known by this name. So y'all drop your answers in the chat. Then while we do that, Darcia said that yarn is hard to get, always out of stock. Yes, and I got lucky when I got this. I've had this for a year or so. But they have two of the brightly colored ones. And so I got the one that was in stock. Bonnie says, I love that ice. I do. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's not a whole lot of yardage in the little donuts. But it's so pretty, and the stitches. So far, I haven't found a stitch that I haven't liked with it because it's got a little bit of shine. It really works up nice. All right, are y'all ready to learn the star stitch? Okay, so no matter which way you choose to do it, if you start or if you want to finish your star stitch with a half double, or if you want to finish your star stitch with a single crochet, your first row is going to be the same. So the star stitch is a 2-row, it's worked over 2 rows. All right, so first you're going to chain 3. I might need to zoom back down for this one. Okay, so you're going to chain 3. And this first stitch is a little harder. Okay, did I turn my autofocus off or turn my autofocus back on? Sorry. There we go. I see some green berets coming in. I'm seeing a Marines. All right, so now you've got your chain 3. So you're going to insert your hook. Darcia says she's going to have to watch the replay. Her legs are killing me. Okay, Darcia. Have a great night. Hope your legs get to feeling better. Bonnie says she's got one ice, but I won't use it because it looks good on my shelf. I understand. I've got some pretty yarn sitting over on my shelf, and I'm trying to make myself use all my pretty stuff. Just because, you know, I want to use it because it's pretty. So I need to start making pretty stuff. All right, so in the second chain from the hook, you're going to insert your hook and draw up a loop. In the third chain, you're going to insert your hook. Now you can go on the one closest here. I usually go underneath both of the little V section of the chain. You don't have to. You can go in one side or the other. Okay, and then you're going to draw up a loop, keeping that on the hook. So now you got 3 loops on the hook. Okay, in your first stitch here, you're going to insert your hook, draw up a loop. In the second stitch, insert your hook, draw up a loop. And then in the third stitch, insert your hook and draw up a loop. So now you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 6 loops. Then you're going to chain 1 to complete the stitch. Now this chain 1 space is going to become the eye or the center of your star. So that's what you've got. That's the lower half of your star. So your first star stitch was going to look that way. Oh, I forgot to go up a hook size. I'll have to go back and do that. I'm going to go up a hook size because, as you can see here, it's already pulling in just a little bit. So I'm going to go up a hook size so that it stays the same width as this below. And then that'll also let me go back over this one more time with y'all. Switching out to my K-hook. Okay. All right, so again, chain 3. And this is only for the very first stitch of the lower section of the star. Okay, so you've got your chain 3. It does not matter if you chain before you turn or if you chain after you turn. Just make sure that you are consistent and do it the same way each time. Okay, so in your second chain from the hook, insert your hook and draw up a loop. And keep your loops a little loose. So you're going to pull them up so that they're all basically the same height. Okay, and again, like I said, you can go through right here, go underneath the front loop and the back loop of the chain, or you can just go in one side or the other. It is a personal preference as to how you do that. Insert your hook, draw up a loop. In the first stitch, insert your hook, draw up a loop. In the second stitch, insert your hook, draw up a loop. And in the third stitch, insert your hook, draw up a loop. So you have 6 loops now on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Chain 1. And now you're ready to go to the next one. Now in this little eye here, in the eye of your star, that is where you're going to put your hook. So in this chain 1 where you just chained, you're going to put your hook right there. Insert your hook and draw up a loop. Then you're going to take your hook and you're going to go into the little post of this last, so like this little section of the star. You're going to go in, go behind both little legs, both little posts, and draw up a loop. Hey, Miss Janice, welcome in. Then right here in the stitch where you ended, where you went into that last stitch, so you went into the third one. So in that same stitch right there, insert your hook and draw up a loop. So now you have 4. And then in the next 2 stitches, insert your hook, draw up a loop, insert your hook, and draw up a loop. So now you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6, chain 1. Okay, and then right here in your chain 1 space, insert your hook, drop a loop, go into the front post or into your little legs here, yarn over, drop a loop into the same stitch that you're working in, or your stitch right here. Insert your hook, drop a loop, and then in the next 2 stitches, drop a loop and draw up a loop. You'll have 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 6, and then chain. And that is what you're getting so far. So it's not looking like a star yet, but it will. Trust the process. Okay, into your little eye there, insert your hook, draw up a loop into your little post legs, drop a loop into the same stitch, drop a loop, then in the next 2, drop a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 6 and chain. Mr. Nightbot's dropped Miss Janice's channel and then also Miss Lisa Knit's channel. Okay, so once you get the hang of the stitch, I count to 5. This here is going to be your first loop on the hook. So, like I said, once you get going, this is how I do it. I count to 5. So into my little eye is 1, into the little legs is 2, into the same stitch is 3, into the next 2, you got 4 and 5. Then there's my 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 and chain. Zach says, how are y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Zach. So does anybody have a question on what we've done so far? So into the eye, draw up a loop. Into your little leggies, draw up a loop. Same stitch, draw up a loop. Next 2, draw up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook and chain. So once you get the hang of, to me, this is the hardest part, is just keeping all the loops on the hook and pulling them through. And making sure you keep them loose enough so that you can pull through all of them easily. Lisa says, pretty pattern. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Zach said, I had a stressful day at work and I almost thought about quitting. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach. Well, I hope you can de-stress tonight. Do you have to work tomorrow or do you have tomorrow off? Hopefully you've got a day off coming so you can just relax and chill out. It's almost time to drop our answer, or our question to the answer. So here, like I said, this little chain here where you've finished out and closed out that star, that becomes the center of your star, and that's where we're going to insert the hook. Drop a loop into your little legs here. And also by keeping your loops loose, it makes it easier to get that hook into the post here, into the little legs. Drop a loop, and then into that same stitch. And when I say the same stitch, can y'all see where it's pulling on it? So it's right here. Drop a loop, and then in the next 2, drop a loop, drop a loop. Now y'all will see that we're right here. We've got 1 stitch left. So we're going to yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. Let's see. Zach says he's got to work tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, then Monday off. Hopefully, because I made plans to go see a friend. Well, I hope you get Monday off if you're scheduled for it off. Okay, so here, y'all, is how I end my rows, which is different from, I'm not going to say everybody, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that has altered this pattern to do it this way. I don't remember whose live I was on. It may have even been on my live. I don't know. There was a time where we would like go from live to live and we would all be on each other's lives talking and just hanging out. So I know that this is where I figured this out. So like I said, somebody else may have figured it out way before me. But I don't like when you end here, a lot of them just have you go ahead and work and do nothing here and just work into this last stitch, which to me leaves a big open hole and I don't like it. So here's how I do it. I go back into this same stitch here, and I work half of a star. So insert, drop a loop. I go in here, go through my 2 posts or my leg, go through the legs there, drop a loop, and then back into that same stitch and drop a loop. So now I have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through those 4. Do not chain. Yarn over, and then in this last stitch, work a double crochet. And I do that for a couple of reasons. First, it finishes off this last star to me. So that when you go back and so when you're looking at it here, you've got this part of the star, like this part of the star, which I mean, technically they're only like halves, but I like it to finish it out. That's just me. Y'all don't have to do it this way. This is just how I like to do it, because if you stop here and then work that last stitch, all this is open and it makes it, I don't know, it just leaves it as a big hole. I don't like it. So this is how I do it. Zach says that he might do a pop-up to de-stress. Well, all right. Well, let me know when we get ready to end and we'll zippity-doo-dah over there. Then you're going to chain one and turn. Okay, in this first stitch, work a half double. Then we're going to skip this stitch here and we're going to jump over here to our eye where we did our chain section. And in this little hole right here, in this little, here we can see my finger coming through. Right here, you're going to work 2 half doubles. Then you're going to skip this stitch and then you're going to jump over here to the chain 1 and work 2 half doubles. And then you're going to do that all the way across. You're just going to skip over to your little eye, the center of the star, and work 2 half doubles in each of those stitches. Now, if you prefer, you can do, this is where you could do a single crochet instead of half double. I like the looks of using the half double. But again, it is a personal preference as to which one you want to use. And Miss Bonnie's talking to Lisa. Lisa Knits, asking her when she's going to do her lives again. I know she's been doing some of them, but being in Australia, she's doing them at times when it's convenient for her, which is completely understandable. So sometimes her lives might be when we're sleeping. Jump over here and this last one. If you can't see it, if it's hidden, just kind of give your side a little tug and it's going to open that one up for you so you can see where your first one was at. And then work 2 half doubles. And then in this last stitch, work a half double. And that is what it looks like when you turn it over. You have these pretty little stars. Ta-da! And Lisa says to Monty, she might do a live tomorrow, depending if the neighbors stay quiet. Yes, Miss Lisa's got some noisy neighbors. My mom says, good night, everyone. Time to read her Bible. Good night. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Now, you can jump straight into the star stitch again. So you have layer after layer after layer of stars. Or, did I do one with the, yep, did. Or you can do 2 rows of another stitch in between to break it up. Or you can do a row of stars in one color and then a row of stars in another color, because the star stitch deserves to shine. Bonnie says, ooh, okay, I'll look. It's 9 here now, so what time tomorrow? Oh my goodness, Lisa said she had to ring the police last weekend on the neighbors and then they got raided. Oh my goodness. So like on this one here, that's the right way. Like down here, I just did star, star, star. And then here, I put a row between. So I did the star stitch, and then I did 2 rows of half double, and then I did a star. Now keep in mind, if you're going to break up the stitch, you're going to need to do 2 rows in between. Otherwise, you'll have a star stitch And if you only do one, then you're going to have this. This is what you'll be showing. So you got to make sure that if you're going to add something between, it's got to be 2 rows at least, so that your star stitch will stay on the front side, the right side. Bonnie says, let me go back up. Nope. Lisa said she's not sure what time yet. And Nancy says that would make a pretty headband. Yes, it would. Bonnie says, Lisa, they're lucky I don't live by you because I'd be over cleaning house. I hear you. Sometimes my neighbors, they don't get loud like Lisa's do. Mine has a friend that comes over and plays music like super loud, which is aggravating because sometimes he'll just leave his truck running and go inside their house and leave his car radio on. And I'm like, dude, turn it off. Lisa says, oh, before I forget, they found a pew-pew in her neighbor's house. That's crazy. Melanie says, pretty colors. Thank you. I really like this yarn. It really, like I said, I have not found a stitch yet that has not looked good with this yarn. I think it's because of the shine on it. It helps those stitches pop. But anyway, so that is the star stitch, y'all. And then you would just start it back over the same. If you wanted to go straight into another star stitch row, you'd chain your 3. And then insert your hook in the second chain, drop a loop, insert your hook in the third chain, drop a loop. And then in the first 3 stitches, you're going to insert your hook and drop a loop so that you have a total of 6 loops on your hook. So you have the first loop you started with, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then from the 5 that you just pulled up. Yarn over and pull through all 6. And Zach says, pew-pews are illegal in Canada. Lisa said, it's scary. I hate it here. That sucks, Lisa. I'm sorry. Bonnie says, you need a good Louisville slugger. Makes me think of that song. I took a Louisville slugger to both headlights. So drop a loop in your little eye. Insert it in the little leggies. Draw up a loop. In the same stitch, draw up a loop. And then in the next 2, draw up a loop. 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 6. Chain. Ta-da! Lisa says, sorry for telling you this on your live. That's one reason I don't do much live. That's okay, Lisa. Sometimes you just got to de-stress and get it out. I understand. That's really bad. I'm sorry that they've really escalated to that. That is super stressful. Insert in the same stitch. Like I said, I do count to 5 when I'm doing mine. So I'm going to go ahead and cruise right through this little section here. If y'all need me to stop and re-show something, let me know. And I'll slow it back down and show. But right here in this little chain 1 space, where you finished off your star, that's where you start your hook. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through all. Whoa. That's what happens when I look away to see the chat. Bonnie says, I love that song. Zach says to Lisa, Pam doesn't mind. Sometimes you need people to be there for you, and we're all here for you, Lisa. Exactly. Lisa says, that's why I try to get a lot of videos out and try to make them longer. I've noticed you've been making them a little bit longer. That gives you a little bit more watch time too, and lets people see you more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through. Let's pay attention to what I'm doing. Now I can turn and look at chat. Oh, Oh, let me go drop the answer to our Jeopardy question, or our question to our answer. All right, for those that are listening and lurking, the category is Time to Go Green. The answer is formed in 1952. The United States Army Special Forces is also known by this name. And for those that said, what are the Green Berets? You are correct. Bonnie says to Lisa, everybody deserves to live in peace. I can't believe there's nothing the landlord can do about like that, like throw them out. I know, right? That's just, but you know, with the police coming and raiding it, maybe that'll help get them evicted, but it's, yeah. Lisa says, yep, she needs some watch hours, but she's not going to stress about it. She knows the lives give you more watch hours, but it's hard. It is hard, especially if you have neighbors like that. That, you know, landlord won't do anything. That stinks. That stinks. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. And it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not cheap. It's not cheap to just up and move yourself, you know. That's your home. That's where you live. It's not like, you know. So that really stinks. 1, 2. There is a darn gnat that has decided to come in here, and he needs to be gone. On the end of this row, I will show y'all the alternate ending or alternate way to end the row. If you want to do it that way. Like I said, I prefer to end it with the double crochet. But I do like the look of the other one, depending upon, I don't know. I like both of them because they don't leave the big gap. I don't like the big gap. Whoop, wrong one. Lisa said, and houses are getting harder to rent and we have a housing crisis. Oh, that, yeah. That's a tough situation. You're in a tough spot, and I hate that. I was hoping that, you know, I was hoping that they would get quieter, but it sounds like they've just escalated and they're getting louder. All right, so here we are at the end where we've got our 1 stitch left. Down here we did draw 3 loops. So we went in the eye, in the post, and in the same stitch, no chain, and then double crocheted in the last stitch. Another way you can end it is to go into the eye, into the post, into that same stitch, and also into the last stitch. So you have 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5, and then go ahead and chain 1. And then what I do for this chain 1 is I pull it tight because you don't want that one to be an eye. I just pull it so it closes it up and it brings that stitch up even with these over here. Also, by doing it this way or the other way, it's easier to keep your stitch count the same because you're going to start with either a single crochet or a half double, whichever method you choose to finish off your star. You start and end in the stitches, so you do a stitch here and a stitch here. And then you just work 2 stitches in each of those eyes all the way across. Let's see. Bonnie says, the only people I really know where I live are my clients, so YouTube is where I go. Oh, that's cool, Bonnie. That you got all your friends on the YouTube streets. And there's always somebody here. And Zach says, we're all glad you're here, Lisa. Yes. And Lisa's saying the same thing. And she gets to see everybody. Exactly. So then, after I've chained, I go ahead and do my chain because I don't count this as my turning chain. You could, if you wanted to. So then chain 1 and turn. And then going into this first stitch, work a half double or the single crochet, whichever you prefer. And then into the eye, work your 2 half doubles or singles, whichever you prefer. And then you finish it off the same way as the other way. Just working 2 stitches in each eye. Stitches. Do, do, do. So do y'all have big plans for the weekend? Here in my hometown, we've got a big weekend going on. We've got a ball game tomorrow night with the high school football. And then we also have a new thing that they're doing this year. They're doing a haunted tour at night. They're going to tell like the history on some of the buildings and some of the ones that are considered to be haunted, which is pretty cool. I think it'd be fun. It's going to be a fundraiser for one of the groups in town. And then Saturday night, friends of mine, they have a Halloween party every year. And there's also our Halloween parade. We have a nice, kind of like we're known as kind of Halloween town. And so they do a Halloween parade. So this is your backside. Again, you can kind of see the star. But when you turn your work, that's where the star stitch really shines. That's where you can really see it. And see how, even though I went up a hook size, you can see how they stayed the same. So definitely, if you're following along with the blanket, you're going to want to go back up to the K. Like I'm using the J for my lemon peel stitch, or the 6.0. When I go into my star stitch section for November, I'm going to go up to a K. That way, it keeps my sides fairly well straight. Let's see here. Lisa said she's doing a new stitch and knitting that she learned from another YouTuber. Oh, very cool. Nancy says might go to Tractor Supply for a farmer's market. Oh, that'll be fun. Are you going to have a booth or are you going to look and shop? I like Tractor Supply too. They've got some, our Tractor Supply anyway, has got some really nice stuff. Like, I like our Tractor Supply. They have like a little, it's not a craft section, but it's like, they've got the wax melts and all the farm decor as far as the signs and wax warmers and all that kind of fun stuff. Zach said his mom's birthday's tomorrow. So before work, I'm going to spend time with her. And Lisa's going to spend her weekend knitting. Awesome. And yes, and happy birthday, Zach, to your mom. Okay, let me move this off of here. Whoops, wrong one. And before I turn my camera, I just want to thank everybody for coming to my live tonight. So this is for y'all. That's what I can do. I can play a video when I change my camera, and then you don't catch me making silly faces. There we go, Nancy. I figured it out. Let's see. Nancy says, no booth this time, but going to see how busy it gets and see what other crafts are there. Oh, that's a good idea. And You can kind of see what people are charging and if their stuff is selling at that price. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Susan. Welcome in. She said, I was on the phone. That is okay. Zach said she will be 64 years young tomorrow. Well, happy birthday to your mom. And Bonnie says to Zach, you better spoil her. Exactly. Lisa says, thank you for the company. Oh, you're welcome. So Miss Susan, I went ahead and showed the star stitch. I don't know if you were able to hear while you were on the phone, but I went ahead and showed the star stitch because that's going to be the stitch for November. I'm going to go, I know you're working on the blanket. And I haven't gotten around to doing the little snippets. After we discussed that, my life kind of got flipped upside down. So I'm still planning to do that. It's just going to take me a little bit longer to get that done. But so we've got the lemon peel stitch going into the star stitch. If your star stitch section is going to need to be an even number. So for me, I'm taking mine back to 198. And that's kind of what it's going to look like, except it'll have, the 2 rows of black in between before I start into the star. Zach says, well, of course I will, Bonnie. I gave her a gift card for an early present, and she's already used it. She wants a stir fry for supper and a vanilla cake for dessert. That sounds good. That sounds yummy. But, so there is the star stitch. I have not got the tutorial for the star stitch out yet. I did record it. I recorded it last weekend. I just have to edit it. And if for whatever reason I don't get around to editing it this weekend, then y'all are going to get the unedited version because that video is going live on November 1st, maybe even earlier. Maybe earlier. We'll see. But either way, it's going live no later than November 1st. So if it, like I said, if it doesn't get edited, then you're just going to get an unedited version. And I show all the ways. I show how to finish it off with single crochet, how to finish it off with a half double like we've done here, how to end it with a double crochet, and how to end it with the half of a star. So whichever way you prefer or want to do, I'm going to show you how to do all of them in the tutorial. So Bonnie says to Zach, where are we going? I'm coming. Sounds good. I know, right? I know, because I'm getting kind of hungry. Zach says his house. He said, well, the cake is coming from a store. You're not going to bake her a cake, Zach? And y'all, I may be one of the few, but I like a box cake. I think they're good. I'd almost prefer a box cake from a bakery cake. Not all the time, but sometimes. Slap some cream cheese icing on it. Yeah, buddy. Now, given the choice between that and nothing bundt cakes, I'm picking nothing bundt cakes because they're good and they all come with cream cheese icing. So, yum, yum. Bonnie wants to know if Zach is cooking. Lisa says, I better go get some lunch because I'm in from knitting club to your live. Have a great night. Thank you, Lisa, for coming and hanging out with us. I'm getting ready to head out too because I've got to go get me some food because I'm getting hungry. Zach says, I could make her a cake. I do believe we have a box cake mix. Well, there you go, Zach. You could do that to de-stress before work. Or if you have to go work early, you could do it after. If you do your live, you could do it after the live. Make the house smell yummy. Hey, Trish, welcome in. Melanie says, have a blessed week. Thinking about you. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that. And I do, like I said, I do have a vlog about that coming up. I will get it up this weekend as well. Bonnie says to Lisa, have a good night. So that will be coming up. I will get that out. That'll be out this weekend. Like I said, I meant to get it up yesterday, but then I listened to it back last night before I went to bed, and I decided I need to take out something. So Zach says, nope, I'll be at work at 3:30. Bonnie says, you thinking about food this late? You should have already eaten dinner. I'll eat when I get home. After work, I'm starving. Normally I am, but I had a late lunch because I had physical therapy. Y'all look, I can raise my arm almost straight up above my head. I can stretch it up good, but for those that don't know, I had a frozen shoulder. I think it's still, I think it was from the trauma from the wreck back at the beginning of the year, and it just progressively got worse. But I've been going to physical therapy, and it doesn't hurt. Like, I can reach up here and turn the light on now, which before, like, I couldn't do this motion, like it hurt. So it's getting better. But anyway, so I had physical therapy during my lunch break at work. So I picked up lunch and brought it back with me back to work. And then I ate it as I was working. So by the time I finally finished it, it was later in the day than I normally do. So, but I did have a snack. I had a snack before I did my live. So I'm going to have another snack. Probably won't eat like a full meal, but I'm going to have another little snacky snack before I go to bed. Otherwise, when I wake up in the morning, I will be starving. Trish says she just got home from a yard sale. Ooh, fun. I enjoy a good yard sale, and I need to have one again, and I need to drag a whole bunch of stuff outside in my yard, but oh my gosh, they are so much work. And they are a lot of work to make you sad if people don't stop and buy all your junk. Because then you got to drag it all back in or do something else with it. Hi, Kitra. Welcome in. We're getting ready to head out, but thank you so much. Bonnie, are you live this weekend? If you said it, I missed it. Me? I am not live this weekend. There are some lives this weekend. Little Treasures by Nancy will be live tomorrow night. Cynthia's Joyful Creations will be live tomorrow night. Lisa Knit said she might be going live at some point tomorrow. So, yeah. Trish said she bought some size 8 knitting needles, $20. Expensive. But are they like a really good brand? So, like, even though $20 is expensive, but if it's like a really good brand that would normally cost like $50, then $20 is a good deal. Trish says, and some yarn, of course, to crochet more bags. Bonnie says, okay, Pam, well, you're a beautiful person inside and out, and I'll be praying for you next week. You're going to rock this. God's got your back. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I appreciate that. And I know I've told y'all this before, but I appreciate all of the prayers, all of the well wishes for those that have reached out and those that haven't, for those that are just doing it. What's the word? For those that are doing it without me knowing. I appreciate all of them. And you don't have to let me know. I appreciate when you do, though. This community has really been, it's been a blessing. It's really been more than I ever thought it would be, honestly. When I started this channel, I never imagined that I would make the friendships that I have through YouTube. And I'm so grateful for all of you. I really am. And Tiny has decided to make his appearance. I fed him before I came in here. He was meowing at me, so I fed him. And normally he'll eat, and then he'll come in here, make his way. But he just now made it in here. He must have had his little snacky snack and then decided to take a little nap. Trish says the yarn community is the best. They really are. Y'all really are. Y'all out there. Y'all are the best. You are. All right, Mr. Zach, are you going to do a pop-up? Let us know. Because we're getting ready to head out. And if you are, then we will come and visit you. Oh, and if y'all are here now and you missed it, let me show y'all something. So StreamYard has started this, or put out another update. And look what you can do. And it's under brand. And when you open up your brand, and if y'all have the free version, let me know if this works, because what it said when I clicked on it is that all accounts. So I'm assuming that that is good for the free accounts as well. So when you go to brand, at the very top, it's going to say preview. If you click edit, it's going to give you different layouts. And check it out. You can make yourself into a circle, which cuts out all of your background. So if you have like your background that's like where you're currently sitting. So that way, if you want to show what you have as your background through StreamYard, you can. They also have other little ones, so you can do it like this. More back again. And they already they have some that are already, the colors are already preset. But you can change those on your own to make them be whatever color you want. Just play around with it. And so there you go. So y'all can choose and play around with those. And like I said, when I logged in, it's a new feature and it said available on all accounts. So hopefully that also means the free accounts, because this is really kind of cool. And you can also do it if you have panel. So all of your panel people are in circles instead of squares. So I'm excited to kind of try it out and see what it does. And then after you get everything edited in the way you want it, click the little back arrow where it says brand settings, and it'll take you back to all of your other stuff. It is the same places where all of your videos and stuff are. It's under brand. So y'all be sure and go check it out, because I think that's a really cool new feature that they've added. Zach says, sure, let me get it set up after I do a quick potty break. There you go. Sandra says, loving this stitch. Thank you. You are so welcome, Miss Sandra. I hope I didn't go through it too fast. And even though I went up a hook size, y'all can see here, and I was trying to like half block it. You can, well, I don't know if y'all can tell. It's still going in just a little bit. So I may have to try to loosen up my tension a little bit more when I'm working on the blanket, or may just leave it, because then the next stitch is going to be, well, the last stitch of the month or the last stitch of the year rather, for December will be double crochet, because that's the last stitch on the spinny willy thingy. So that will bring it back out. And I'm probably going to go back and do a black border around the whole entire blanket. Border is not really my jam, but I want to tie it all together. And since I did use so many different stitches, well, we used 12 different stitches, 13 if you count the single crochets that I used in between. So I'll probably go around and do a border on it, just so the sides are nice and straight. And then that'll also help pull it. Whoa, because I don't want to block it, because who wants to have to block a big old blanket every time you wash it? Not me. But if I put the border on it, it's going to pull it anyway. So it can stretch just a smidge and be the same as the other. So we're going to deal with that. But anyway. Bonnie says, have a great night. Thank you, Pam. You are so very welcome. Chris K says, hi from the medicated corner. Let's see. Nancy said, I was going to do a pop-up opening some new yarn, but my desk is a giant mess. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's okay. You could do it in the morning or tomorrow before your... Diane says, I'll do it anyway, Nancy. Exactly. She says, still cleaning off her desk after building the bookshelf and the keyboard tray. Oh, you know what? And I know you said you were building a bookshelf. In my mind, I was thinking a mini bookshelf, like what you were making Tuesday. But you were talking about a big bookshelf, right? Like, not the caster one that went under. It's a bigger one, right? Nancy says, I'll probably go live sometime tomorrow afternoon before her live. Yay. All right. And I'm at the bottom of the chat again. All right. So, y'all, before, Mr. Zach, if you are still here, type in B-E-E happy, be happy. Nancy said, an actual bookcase, not as easy as a mini one. Exactly, because I was really thinking, when you said that, I was thinking mini. But then when you just said that, I was like, oh no, she's talking about a big bookcase. An actual bookcase. Yeah, those take a little bit longer to put together. They don't just pop in. All one word, Zach. Take out the space. Be happy now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good night, Miss Chris K. She says, good night, everyone. We'll wait for Mr. Zach to get that typed in. There we go. And Mr. Nightbot should drop that link. Bonnie said she built an entertainment center in shorts on the carpet. I had rug burns, but I made it. I hear you. All right, y'all. Mr. Nightbot has dropped Zach's link. So if y'all want to take a quick potty break and grab you a snack, you can head over to Mr. Zach's and do a bee raid over there. There comes Miss Susan's link. Mr. Nightbot should drop it for her. So I will be working on getting my videos out this weekend. Hopefully I will get that Star Stitch tutorial edited. If not, like I said, it's going live next week regardless. So it will either be an unedited version or an edited one. If I do an unedited one, it'll just say, I'll put it out there so y'all will know. I want to say it's like, right now, I want to say it's like around 26 to 30 minutes long, somewhere around in there, 30-ish minutes. And y'all get to hear me, like, if I mess up, then I back it up, and then I start it over. So if I do the unedited, that's what you're getting. So, but I should, as of right now, I should have plenty of time this weekend to get it all done. I just have a lot to do this weekend. So, but we're going to, like I said, one way or another, the Star Stitch tutorial is going up next week. I also have another video, my medical journey vlog, which will also be going up this weekend. The first installment, which if you were here last week, you already know. But I just kind of reworded it, put it all out there, gonna upload it. And then I have some shorts that I've done, along the way that I'll put those up too. Most of it I've already told in the big vlog that's going to go up this weekend, but some of the shorts are just me being my goofy self. A lot of y'all, if y'all haven't figured it out, I like to crack jokes and be silly and goofy, and that's kind of how I deal with certain situations that most people would not laugh at. But, you know, it's how I cope. So, yeah. So, that's it. Alrighty, y'all. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And I will see y'all around the YT streets. Where's my little clickety-doo? There we go. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. The thing about them adding new stuff is now I have to scroll down further to get to my videos. Outros. There we go. Alright, y'all. Remember, be creative. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye!